Sylvia Plath and Ted Hughes, two of the most notable names in literary history, and also one of the most notable couples in literary history. They met at Cambridge when Plath was studying on a Fulbright scholarship and Hughes had just graduated. Oddly enough, they met at a party where they had entered a screaming match reciting each other's poems back and forth. Sounds like a match made in heaven. Their relationship was wrought with drama and affairs, and Plath did find out about these in 1962. This affected a lot of her poetry, of course, and in 1963 she committed suicide, gassing herself but saving her two children to be raised by Hughes. After her death, a book of Plath's poems were published by Hughes. It was a manuscript of poems that she'd left before she died, labeled Ariel. He did take some of her poems out of it before publishing it. However, a lot of them were released in Ariel, the restored edition. Through these poems, a reader can infer the struggle that Plath had gone through and the kind of martyrdom that she portrays. Years later, Ted Hughes also released a book of poetry entitled Birthday Letters. This was released right before he died, and some say it was a way for him to combat all that had been accused of him. In Plath's Ariel, the controversy goes beyond just the rocky relationship of Ted Hughes and Sylvia Plath. It extends into their poetry, and therefore the critics and fans of both Ted Hughes and Sylvia Plath try to make sense of the conflicting poems found in both books of poetry. Ultimately, Sylvia Plath portrays herself as a victim or martyr in her Ariel poems. Ted Hughes's Birthday Letters is a response to this, in which he attempts to defend himself and set the record straight, so to speak, and point out the many issues she had herself. As expressed by Sarah Churchill in her article Secrets, Lies, Plath Privacy Publication and Ted Hughes's Birthday Letters, kaleidoscopically reassembling particularly fraught moments in a long public controversy, Birthday Letters responds to many audiences, to Plath, and to a shifting public which fought battles in and over her name for more than 35 years. Birthday Letters was Hughes' final attempt to give his side of the story, to expose Plath, or as Churchill puts it, to uncover the glamour of fatality that hangs over the name Sylvia Plath, the glamour that has made her a darling of our culture. The discrepancies in the poetic recount of their relationship can be exemplified in an examination of Plath and Hughes's poetry. For example, in one of Plath's most famous poems, Daddy, Plath writes, "There is a stake in your fat black heart, and the villagers never liked you. They are dancing and stamping on you. They always knew it was you. Daddy, Daddy, you bastard, I'm through." Throughout her poems and writing, her father comes up a lot. Plath always claimed a lot of resentment for her father, and in this poem, with words like fat black heart and you bastard, all the more prove the negative relationship and even make it seem as if they were more estranged than anything else. However, when you turn to Hughes, he exposes that the relationship between Plath and her father, while short-lived because of his early death, had a tremendous hold on her. In The Bee God, he writes, "But you bowed over your bees, as you bow over your daddy. Your page, a dark swarm, clinging under the lit blossom. You and your daddy, there in the heart of it, weighing your slender neck." The Bee God is Plath's father, as she mentions bees often throughout her literary works. The words Hughes uses, bowed and weighed, all express the grasp Plath's late father had on her, pulling her into psychological darkness until her own suicide. While feminists, Plath supporters, and critics blame Hughes for her death, Hughes rectifies his reputation in justifying it was her own psychological issues that stem from her relationship with her father that really messed her up. Ariel, the restored edition, and Birthday Letters are as drama-filled as Plath and Hughes' relationship, accounts from two different sides of the story of their lives together.